Lindsay here, and welcome to another episode of My 5 Favorite, the show where I talk about my 5 favorite movie-related things. I don't necessarily think they are the best things, but they are my favorite, and they are subject to change on a weekly basis. And on today's episode, we are finally saying goodbye to the 80s. Yes, it's my 5 favorite films from 1989. We have reached the end point of the 80s, 1989. Again, a shit ton of films to pick from, and there were a lot that I wanted to put on this list, but I just couldn't. I remade this list like 10 times, going back and forth between different movies because I couldn't choose, and I think I've finally settled on a list that I can live with, at least while I'm filming this. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 5. Number 5 is it's become kind of a punchline lately. A movie that's joked about a lot. It's it's one of the manliest movies ever made. It's just full of machismo. You got tough dudes like Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott and Ben Gazzara. And then you got chicks like Kelly Lynch. Yes, I'm talking all about Roadhouse.
This is my town. I'm not afraid of him.
I love watching Roadhouse. It's so much fun. It's so silly and over the top. And it's got great fight scenes and fight choreography.
Escort this gentleman to the door.
You've got Sam Elliott just being himself, essentially.
Aren't you guys tired?
Doc, I'll get all the sleep I need when I'm dead.
You got so many great one-liners. Pain don't hurt, that kind of shit. It's great.
I'll give you a local.
No, thank you.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
One thing I want to talk about for a minute is the Roadhouse legacy. Now, they made some dog shit sequel thing with, I think it's supposed to be Dalton's son or some stupid shit like that. They were going to do a sequel-ish kind of thing with Ronda Rousey, but then her career went in the toilet, so they scrapped it. But the original film, Roadhouse, 1989, gives them everything they need for a super awesome prequel. Yes, they talk about the fucking story. It's all about how Dalton met Wade because he kills that one guy at his old job, and how Wade got his limp. There's so much stuff packed into this movie to tell that story. Do a prequel from when they met. It would be an awesome movie. I'm telling ya, it writes itself. So for all those reasons and many more is why Roadhouse is my number 5 favorite film of 1989.
Line of work, I thought you'd be bigger.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
Roadhouse.
Number 4. Number 4 is one of my favorite sci-fi films. I would categorize it as sci-fi. It's got aliens and shit in it. I think it's one of James Cameron's most underrated films. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but it was so revolutionary and groundbreaking with its technology and shooting underwater and the hell that the actors had to go through to make this film possible. Yes, I'm talking all about The Abyss.
Here's a bottomless pit, baby. 2.5 miles straight down.
I've always loved The Abyss. We watched it a lot when I was a kid. My dad, who was a science teacher, would show it in his classroom for like a fun thing. And I just always loved the story. And just the technical aspects of everything they had to do to make this film work, and the amazing revolutionary computer-generated water effects where they've got the probe, the water probe that comes through. That's such it that effect still holds up to this day. It's amazing. You've got a great cast of characters. You've got Ed Harris, who is always wonderful.
Yeah, I'm calm. I'm a calm person. Is there some reason why I shouldn't be calm? What?
You've got Elizabeth Mastron. I don't know how to fucking pronounce her last name. But she was in a lot of shit in the late 80s and early 90s. Elizabeth Mastrantonio, I think that's how you say her name. She plays a character named Lindsay, and she's a bitch. Hey, one night, it's Lindsay.
Oh, hi, Lindsay.
You've also got Michael Biehn, who is in a lot of James Cameron stuff. And he does a good job in this. He plays a crazy fucking Marine.
We may have to take steps. We're gonna have to take steps.
But there's action, there's love and romance, there's humor, and there's squishy aliens.
It was like a dance of light. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
And that all adds up to one pretty decent film. So for all those reasons and many more is why The Abyss is my number 4 favorite film from 1989. Number 3. You know, I don't think enough people just kind of take a moment to realize that we had a Batman film. The first live-action Batman film, like major studio release. And it was directed by Tim Burton. And fucking Prince did the soundtrack. Prince did the fucking soundtrack. I think people take that for granted. I think they do. Number 3 is Batman.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
This was the biggest movie of the 80s when it came out. It was such a huge thing. People were talking about it for months and months and months before it came out. When it finally came out, it was sold out all the time. You have Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Just an iconic performance.
You look fine.
I didn't ask.
Michael Keaton, a bunch of people didn't think he could be Batman because they're like, oh, he's a comedic actor. How is he going to play this serious, brooding role? Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale, hot. Jack Palance was in this movie.
You are my #1 guy.
But for those reasons and many, many more, is why Batman is my number 3 favorite film from 1989. Number 2. Number 2, a lot of people might be surprised that it's not my number 1. Because I'm such a big fan of this person. I just finished talking to the director of this film, Mr. David Worth, who is amazingly sweet and easy to talk to and just so open to speak with anyone about movies and loving movies. Great guy. But yes, my number 2, big shocker, it's Kickboxer. It's not my favorite Van Damme movie, but man, is it up there. It's got so many iconic scenes. The kick the tree scene, I still kind of cringe every time that scene comes on. The dancing scene in the bar. And then that end fight with Tong Po where they wrap the rope around their hands and then they dip it in glue and then they dip it in broken glass and they're just, ugh, that would suck so hard. But this movie really cemented Jean-Claude Van Damme's career as an action martial arts star, and I just love it. So for those reasons and many, many more is why Kickboxer is my number 2 favorite film from 1989.
The movie group presents Jean-Claude Van Damme in Kickboxer. It takes one to kill one.
Number 1. Number 1 is the third movie in one of the best trilogies of all time, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Yes, I am talking all about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
To the canyon of the crescent moon, to the temple where the cup that holds the blood of Jesus Christ resides forever.
You have chosen wisely. This is probably the Indiana Jones film that I watched the most growing up. I love all 3 of them. I love the first one, I love the second one, but I think this one is probably my favorite. I love the dynamic between Ford and Connery, and they're arguing back and forth just like father and son, and there's so many iconic lines.
No ticket.
Dr. Jones.
Yes?
No camels.
Don't call me Junior.
Look what you did.
I didn't know you could fly a plane. Why, yes. Land? No. Dad? What? Dad? What? Dad? What?
Another great one is when they're escaping from the castle and we have the motorcycle chase. Then there's the chase through the desert with the horses and the tank. And then finally, they go to Petra, which in the movie is where the Holy Grail is kept and is guarded by the last knight from the Crusades. We have all this great stuff about picking the cup, picking the right one, picking the wrong one.
You must choose. But choose wisely. For as the true Grail will bring you life, the false Grail will take it from you.
But all the traps and the mechanisms, and then switching back and forth between Harrison Ford going through the traps, and then Sean Connery where he's wounded, talking about the different traps and repeating what he has written down in his journal.
Penitent man is humble. Kneels before God. Kneel!
And you have Allison Doody. Doody. You have Allison Doody. She's my favorite indie girl. I think she was incredible. She was beautiful. Her wardrobe was spectacular.
We have no time to lose. Indiana Jones and his father have escaped.
Julian Glover is in this. You get some of the characters from the original film. You get Marcus Brody.
Brody's got friends in every town and village from here to the Sudan. He speaks a dozen languages, knows every local custom. He'll blend in, disappear. You'll never see him again. With any luck, he's got the Grail already.
Does anyone here speak English?
You get Sala.
I'm going after those horses.
I'll take the camels.
I don't need camels.
But indeed.
No camels.
And then the whole opening stinger with River Phoenix. You know, they kind of shoehorn in all the iconic indie stuff into one afternoon, you know, how he got his scar, how he got his whip, how he got his fear of snakes, how he got the hat, all this kind of shit. It's all shoehorned into one afternoon, but it all fits with the old serials that this trilogy is based off of. So for me it works, and it works so well. And so for those reasons and many, many, many more is why Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is my #1 favorite film from 1989.
Those people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad! It's a new experience for me.
Happens to me all the time. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Now it's time to take a look at our honorable mentions, but first, these messages.
My darling Crystal, I've had this fragrance created especially for you. I think it's as beautiful as you are. Every time you wear it, remember, I love you forever.
My dearest Blake, I've had this fragrance created especially for you. I think it's as sexy as you are. And every time you wear it, remember that I'll love you forever, too.
Forever Crystal and Carrington, both created to celebrate the love that lives forever.
Century Village at Pembroke Pines, Florida's most successful resort condominium community.
Invites you to spend 3 days in our shoes on a fly-in-by holiday that'll knock your socks off.
A sun-filled weekend of sports, exercise, entertainment, and relaxation.
Just $259 per person, all inclusive.
Bring golf and tennis shoes and swim fins, and don't forget your dancing shoes.
For reservations, call Century Village toll-free.
And step on it.
Behold the beer belly. 50 million Americans need a shortcut to get from fat to flat. Introducing the Gut Buster. It's the ultimate fitness machine specifically designed to firm and flatten the stomach as nothing else can. And ladies, if you're as serious as he is, that flat stomach you had in high school can be yours again. Basic spring-ups like these work the upper abdominal region. Reverse for tension-assisted high risers. This sturdy unit travels easily so you can exercise anywhere. And it's yours with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So go ahead, Gutbusters. If you're serious about a flat stomach, exercise your right to call toll-free now.
To order your Gutbuster, call 1-800-225-9100. That's 1-800-225-9100. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges, or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to The Gutbuster, Department 376, Canton, Ohio 44750. That toll-free number again is 1-800-225-9100.
I did limit it to 5. I wanted to do 6 again, but I'm like, no, just keep it to 5, Lindsay, just keep it to 5. So I kept it to 5. So in no particular order, here are the 1989 honorable mentions. Dead Poets Society. I've always loved this movie. Robin Williams' performance is amazing. This was at the start of his turn from a comedic actor into a serious dramatic actor, and he does it so well.
We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
He was the inspiration that made their lives extraordinary. Dead Poets Society.
Heathers.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. I just killed my best friend.
And your worst enemy.
Same difference.
Winona Ryder, Christian Slater. God, he was so hot back then.
Greetings and salutations. You a Heather?
No, I'm a Veronica.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Made pretty good time.
This is a movie I have to watch every year around Christmas time. It's so funny. It's one of the better vacation movies. I mean, most of them are great. I love the original. I love European Vacation. That's probably my favorite one. But I also love Christmas Vacation. Just the lines, the characters. We get Cousin Eddie again.
Just can't believe you're actually standing here in my living room, Eddie. Never thought the day would come.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Wonderful movie to pop on during the holidays.
Play ball!
are here today to bear witness to the execution of Horace Pinker, whose unspeakable atrocities have horrified the people of this great state. Prisoner, have any final words?
Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I believe I forgot, shocker. Of course, I mess up the last video of the 1980s series by forgetting one of my honorable mentions. But yes, shocker. It may not be Wes Craven's most well-known or best film, but it is definitely a lot of fun.
Shocker.
And last but not least, we have Weird Al Yankovic's UHF.
I don't know about this, George. I mean, I don't know the first thing about what goes on at a television station.
Don't worry, Bob. It's just like working in a fish market. Except you don't have to clean and gut fish all day.
It really surprises me that more people haven't seen this movie or even know that this movie exists. It is so funny. Just the little skits that they do throughout the whole thing, like Conan the Librarian, the commercial for Spatula City.
Buddy, where's the spatula?
Okay, kids, let's go.
There's just one place to go for all your spatula needs.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
You got Michael Richards, Fran Drescher, Billy Barty, and a ton of character actors in this film. It's so funny and so creative and fun.
You get to drink from the fire hose! Hey, you ready? Yeah!
Well, that's it. We've done it. We've gone through the entire 80s. 5 favorite films from every year, plus 5 to 6 honorable mentions for each year. That's a lot of movies. That's over 100 films from the 80s that we've talked about on this series. And coming up, we've got the 90s. And there's so many films that I love from the 90s that no one else has seen. No one else has seen, or if they have, they've completely forgotten about them. So I can't wait to dive headlong into the 90s with you, but we must say goodbye to the 80s for now, but we will be back. We definitely will be back.
I'll be back.
So until next time, this is Lindsay signing off. I'll check you later.